Hello, sixth graders. We're going to go ahead and apply our knowledge of percentages to real world situations and look at sales, taxing, and tipping. So let's first figure out the meaning of all of these words. Most of them you already know. Some of them might be new to you. So taxes you have to pay on top of whatever thing you're buying. So you're adding that to your price. A discount is what you're taking away. It's what you save. Sale is a discount. Tipping, you pay on top of your bill to waiters and waitresses. Gratuity is a fancy word for tipping. Marking up, to mark up a price means you're increasing your price, and a markdown means you're decreasing the price. So let's go ahead and just step by step figure out how we can figure out sales and discounts. Again, you already have the knowledge to be able to do this. All we're doing is finally applying this knowledge. So the first thing we need to do is figure out, well, what is the percent of the number? So let's say we have a 30% sale. We need to figure out, well, what is that 30% of the original price? So remember, of means to multiply in math. So the first thing we need to do is convert our percent, which is our part of a whole, into either a fraction or a decimal, because those two numbers represent parts of a whole. So you're going to turn your percent into a part of a whole, fraction or decimal route, then you multiply. Again, because of means to multiply in math. Next, and that's going to be the sale. That's the discount price, whatever you're saving. So next you're going to subtract or deduct the discount from the original price. That final price that you pay at the cash register is called the sale price. So let's do an example, or a couple examples together. So I want to know, how much would you pay for a sweater that's $25 and it's 30% off? So again, you have three options: fraction route, decimal route, or since 30% is a multiple of 10, we can use our mental math to figure out the 30%. So I'll go decimal route first. So let's go ahead. We've got 25 times 30% as a decimal is 0.30. 0 placeholder. 5 carry the 1. 6 plus 1 is 7. Add those up. Well, it's just 750. I shift the decimal twice. So my discount, I'm saving, $7.50. So how much am I going to pay? So I want to know, what's the sale price. So the sale price is going to be what we, taking this away from the original price. So it's going to be $25 minus the $7.50. $17.50 is your sale price. Very nice. Let's take a look if we had used our mental math for 30%. Well, we discovered in our last lesson that 10% of any number, all you have to do is shift the decimal to the left once, because when you're finding 10%, you're finding 1/10 of the price, which means you're dividing by 10, and to divide by 10 means you're shifting the decimal to the left once. So 10% of the $25 means I'm going to take that decimal and shift it over once. So that is $2.50 is your 10%. I'm dealing with 30%, so I'm going to go ahead and multiply 10%. I'm going to triple it times 3, because that gives you 30%. So let's go ahead and multiply 250 by 3, and we get 750. So you have two different options to figure out your discount, and then you must subtract. I'll let you do the next example on your own. Let's go ahead and take a look at tipping and taxing, where you have to add to whatever your cost is. So the first thing we're going to do is figure out the amount of the tax, tip, or gratuity by figuring out that percentage. We're going to turn the percent into either a fraction or a decimal, and then we multiply, because you're finding the percent of means to multiply a number. Then we're going to add the tax, tip, or gratuity to the original price. So let's go ahead and figure out how much are we paying for a TV that costs $550 and we're paying an 8% sales tax. Well, 8% is not one of my multiples of 10, so my mental math isn't going to work quite as well here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that into a decimal. I need to shift it twice, and that's 8/100ths. So what I need to do is I need to multiply 550 by 8/100ths. 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. So this is my tax. I will be paying a $44 tax on a TV that originally cost $550. So my final price is going to be the original $550 plus the $44 tax. So you are looking at paying $594 for a TV that's marketed as $550. Now, if you notice, I mean, that's a pretty big hike for a percentage that's really not that big. So hopefully this is a lesson to you, boys and girls, as you're saving up for really large items or expensive items. When you have to pay percentages of that, taxes on that large, expensive item, you're forking over a good amount of money. Even though it's a small portion, you're taking a small portion of a really big amount of money, which ends up still being a good chunk of money. So let's go ahead and look at the most difficult scenario is when you still have to pay taxes on top of sales. Now, it's only difficult because it's a lot of steps, but again, you have the skills to be able to do this. So unfortunately, as much as we wish we didn't, we do need to pay taxes on items that are on sale. So here's what we need to do. We're going to go ahead and figure out our discounted price first. So we're going to find the sale price first. Then we need to figure out the tax of the sale price amount and add that to the sale price. That's going to be our last step, is adding it back to the sale price. So we've got a $45 blanket, that's 35% off, and we've got a 7% sales tax. So the first thing I'm going to do is let's find that discount. We're going to find the discount first. So it's 35% off. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 45 by 35/100ths, my 35% in decimal form. 0 placeholder. 5 carry the 1. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 1 is 13. Adding those together. Oh, running out of room here. 5, 7, 5, 1. I have 2 decimal places, 2 decimal places. So my discount is $15.75. So my sale price is going to be the original $45 minus my discount. So we'll go ahead and work our way through that. It's 4, 9, 10, that's 5, 2. So I'm looking at paying $29.25 before being taxed. So our next step is we need to figure out what the tax is going to be. So we need to find 7% of the sale price. So next I'm going to go ahead and take my sale price, and I'm going to find 7% of that. Uh, 63 plus 1 is 64. 14 plus 6 is 20. I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places. So let's go ahead and round to the nearest cent. So I'm looking at paying $2.05 for my tax. Now my last step is to find the final cost. Again, this isn't difficult math, but it is a lot of steps. That's what makes this challenging. So my last step is to take my sale price and add the tax to it. So let's go ahead and crank that out. So my sale price is over here, was $29.25. And I'm going to add the $2.05 tax. So the final price of that blanket will be $31.30.